I need an intro. I need an intro. Oh, here's one. Hello, greetings, my fellow divine co-creative celestial beings of the now. Welcome to Planet Collingwood here on Studio A Revolution Radio. My name is Monty Dean. A big thank you to Why Not and crew for the Wi-Files. If you enjoyed the last 2 hours, please go to freedomslips.com or revolution.radio and donate what you can. We're 100% listener supported, 100% volunteer, and just 100%. Unlike the beef company in Australia that sells 100% beef, and it's just the name. It's not actually who knows what's in the meat. To McDonald's, I should mention as well. All evil McDonald's. Today's show is sponsored by a couple of people, and the first one is, which will be mentioned, and the second one will be mentioned at the middle, the halfway point in an hour. Why am I telling you all the production secrets? Because I can. Sponsored by Q-Heal, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique in Sydney and Melbourne. Q-Heal.com. Let Paul do a session with you. I've had one as well, and people ask me, "Well, you're going to talk about it." I did. I do every time. It was good. That's all you're getting out of me. It's a personal thing. If you really want to know what happened, learn to tap into the Akashic Records and wonder why I'm talking like an American. Anyway, that's how I lol. That's where we're going. Now it is a round table of sorts, and I've been joined by two correspondents, and because I wrote them down as a list, so I'll go that way. Interesting enough, alphabetical order. So from, I believe, still Boston. Is our Boston correspondent, Brandon Young, or as I know him from Public Energy, B. Young. How are you, sir?
Hello, Monty. Good to be with you.
Yes, see, I started my own Wafer Thin Entertainment Twitter page, and you followed that, and I tweeted. Is that a word? I tweeted. I tweeted that I was starting the show in 15 minutes, and it worked. I mean, obviously, 4,000 people can do that as well. But see, it just proves that my word of mouth technology twittering does work.
It does reach the people.
Yes.
Meaning,
or person.
Yeah.
I think I've got 8 people following Wafer Thin Entertainment. That's how underground I am. I can count my followers on 2 hands and still have thumbs free. Anyway, we've also been joined by our New South Wales correspondent, Cortek. I should just bring you in to the silliness. Cortek, how are you?
Did I stuff the mic thing up again, or is it working this time?
No, you're totally fine.
Oh, yes!
Yeah. Week 36 gets the bloody thing right.
1 for 36.
Good times. So there you go. So Brandon, Cortek.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Cortek.
And that's it for Planet Collingwood. We'll be next week
Good
in
night,
2020. Good night, everybody. 6 days in 2020. Hey. Yeah, cool. All right. I actually did a bit of pre-production for this wonderful show because, well, I'm trying to kick it up a gear. Yeah, well, other people are doing it, so why the bloody hell not? And you have a reason. So we have the news segment, and so at the moment I've got 4 news items where it's just basically me saying a headline and a slight quibble after that, mainly because I can't be asked doing research, and I'm just taking the piss. We all know, apparently, the G7, which is not a video game or a Japanese anime cartoon. It's supposed to be the 7 top economies or governments, but they kept showing the photos of 9 people, and
you can't even get the maths right. Like, what a bunch of retards.
Yeah, I know. As Captain Pedantic, it's like there's too many people. Like there's actually too many people.
Have you ever seen a bigger bunch of retards on the one stage?
Yes, but we won't go into that. This is
Have
the
you ever
later
seen
one.
ABBA? Yeah.
Hey. ABBA's good for what they do. ABBA's good for what they do now, and also I use the blonde lady from ABBA, where she didn't want to compare. Kurt Cobain shot himself because he couldn't deal with fame. Really, the woman from ABBA bought an island and moved there for 17 years. Options. I'm just putting it out there. Options.
It was disco. Disco was the theme back then. It was a weird time for everyone, I think. But if you were there, I reckon it would have seemed fine. ABBA would have seemed perfectly fine.
It's. I mean, I've got the greatest hits package of theirs. It's great pops.
No,
great
I love it.
Songwriting is beyond reproach.
Makes you dance funny. Makes you dance like do shimmies and do funny things where your elbows stay in the same place but your arms are moving.
Yeah, that's geeky 70s dancing. Like, yeah, ring, ring. I need a cat. My hearing is going. No, anyway, it's what we're stuck on ABBA. What are we doing? This is a news segment. We're bringing up ABBA. We're up to date here at Planet Collingwood.
Yes.
It's been 40 years.
How about that Kennedy assassination? By the way? I mean,
What?
just-
Oh, this is news. Joe Kennedy's died.
Yeah.
See, that's the father. Sorry, I know.
No, I know. I
know, and I know you know,
me.
but it's like not everyone's a massive a Kennedy family boffin, and so
They're
I had to.
Come on.
I
It
know.
gets less funny the more you explain it.
Yeah, I know, but I have to explain it. It's like Joe. There was no Joe. It's like, yeah, that was the father. He was the bootlegger. Anyway, mafia. What are you going to do? Well, not betray them. Hey, I'm.
You got slice, some slice.
Hey, I'm throwing an election here. All right, calm down. Let's see. Yeah, G7. That's where we started. And also, if you know someone, I came up with the new Bond film looks shithouse because it like Spectre meets on a beach. But someone actually put up the photo and it said Rothschild's chess set. I'm like, oh, that's gorgeous.
That's pretty good. There's actually an official comment by China as well.
Oh yeah. We don't like you.
No, just the whole G7 thing, and an organization or a group of people like that, I guess, that don't invite someone from China along, and everyone else is just looking at them, going, I mean, a world where a bunch of people can brazenly get out there and say that their decisions are making the difference, generally for the worse, is time's over.
Yeah, just think high school, and that will condense everything you just said. It's like, oh, you don't invite us. We don't like you no more. See, you're whitewashing everything. You are racist. I know, and this is not my accent. I'm doing it to piss you off because I know you woke white Karens hate that.
I know no one pays any attention, but I mean, it is true.
But during the whole G7 shenanigans, the Queen meets Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. Yeah, I didn't care either. There's a photo of it's like Morrison's ill-fitting suit, got the old slate pot belly, and she's basically Yoda. Like an A, it's like just standing there all Yoda. She seems to be she's either gone through the whole section of grief, or she's high on medication, or Phil didn't die and he just transformed into an 8-foot lizard. Oh, we have options here.
All the above.
Yeah, all the above.
I think he's been dead to her for some time.
Yeah. Well, that's another way of going it as well.
Unless he is still alive, the old lizard thing,
Oh, well, who knows? But she seems very happy and doing well. So unless she's got hardcore with the grieving. However, this next story,
I'm pretty sure they sleep in separate beds. Or they were sleeping in separate beds for a long time.
Bedrooms, actually.
Houses, estates.
Yeah. How do you perform safe sex? Well, I'm here in Windsor, and the Queen's in Edinburgh.
You make sure we're at different houses.
Oh yes, we're in different time zones. What? Yeah. Now, this next story is also about the Queen because I was on the website stories that connected with this one. Queen Elizabeth II uses ceremonial sword to cut a slice of cake on the sidelines of G7 summit. And I'm like, yeah, it's like, a crazy bitch with a knife, yo. I mean,
is that after she kind of said what she wants for the next 5-10 years to all those people standing there with the knife in hand kind of thing? Now I'll just cut myself a piece of cake and eat it.
It'd be funny if she did that knife hand game.
Apparently the ceremonial sword is to knight someone. So let's hope she doesn't king someone. If you know,
she's knighting cakes now.
But it's not a bread
she's cutting cake.
Anyway. It's a length.
I'll cut you. You upset me. I cut you. But she does live in London.
Vanilla of chocolate.
Yeah. Have at you. Ha ha. Oh, that's a real person. Damn, I was aiming for the cake. Oh, that's jam. But she does live in London, and knifings are through the roof. So it's the done thing. Maybe she's trying to get some kids on the side there. We don't know, but apparently the actual story is, I've got something more unusual. It's like, yeah, who's going to argue with a queen that has a sword? Sorry, Your Majesty. How about you? Oh.
I just can't wait for the day where the apocalypse happens and the knights that are sworn to protect Queen Elizabeth come forth to protect her, and it's Sir Paul McCartney, Sir Elton John, Sir Mick Jagger, and all these old rock stars.
Yeah, these skeletons wrapped in skin in their 80s coming. Oh, let's attack. Let's attack a couch and lie on it.
Elton John's going to show up in a cape or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, that's just going to like all kniggets, all of them. So we're only halfway through the news news segment here. This is a story of joy, of hope and harmony, and just awesomeness. Roger Waters tells Mark Zuckerberg where to stick it.
Nice.
Yes, the Zuck, as I've just invented. It's not even in my notes.
Zuck side of the moon.
Yeah, the Zucker, yo. He sent an email to Mr. Waters asking if he could have permission to use another Brick in the Wall Part 2 in an Instagram ad or some such thing. And because we're on, I think the FDA still exists compared to the YouTube censorship. But to misquote Mr. Waters, copulate you. There's no fornication way. Another prick in the wall. So basically, Roger said no. And when he did this, that was for a Julian Assange press conference in New York, and he got a round of applause because of just the tyranny. And while Roger's still alive, he has control over his songs. I know, wacky, isn't it?
I know. Yeah. You never hear that these days.
No, not at all.
As if you would agree to that.
Yeah, he doesn't need any more money.
With the censorship, Facebook has been one of those bricks in the wall. And then what? And then they want to steal the song and take that original feeling away from everyone who had it when it was first played. That's what music happens. Music, when it's used with those things and those imageries, becomes more than the song. It becomes something that brings back a time and place through synesthesia, like smelling, bringing back time and place kind of thing. Yeah. But you can't like ad campaigns can come back and use a song and then just it feels like they're taking some of that away if they do it a second time,
Yeah. And the last story in the news, I couldn't find one, so I made one up. Twitter is still a hellscape that should be removed from all creation, and that's the news section. I really need a sort of a band. Well, not a band, that'll cost money. The ability of playing a sample of a band or something. So you
need a couple of stings.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'll money to buy a desk where I can play little or something like that.
Fields of gold. Fields of gold.
Yeah. So
get a couple of stings. Get Sting the wrestler and get Sting the musician.
If I only knew a reference to Sting the wrestler, because it was like every breath you take, I'm gonna hunt you down and kill you. No,
no, I don't know what he does.
Yeah, I know, but still, good references. Yeah, because there's a TV ad where a young boy buys a Sting action figure or something, and it actually has Sting there, and Sting beating the crap out of the 8-year-old, and the parents are like, "It's so lifelike."
In a world where Logan Paul fights everywhere.
Wait.
Heavyweight champion.
And now we go to a Planet Collingwood theater.
Yes.
Over to you, Brandon. In a world where Logan Paul can get the shit kicked out of him.
In a world without worlds.
In a world without a world.
Here, I got something.
There exists a world without a world. No, I don't know.
And there's other worlds that we won't even mention.
There's your intro.
Yeah.
I got the canned laughter under control. Say something now.
Okay, cool. And also, I thought you were sighing. I didn't realize that was a laugh. It's like,
oh, crowd doesn't like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you get
Thank
crap.
you.
You get a crap.
Appreciate it. I love you all.
Yeah.
Too good.
Yeah. Coming up in Victoria, we're having erection.
That's it.
We have
Remember to
an
vote for
erection.
erection.
Okay.
Erection. You know,
Yes.
where you vote for dicks.
You know what's funny? I'll tell you. I'll share with this funny thing happened today on the way to the plant Collingwood tonight. You know JP Sears, you guys.
It's
Is it like a department store?
no. It's
Yeah.
it's the he's basically the Ginger Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
And we've got one of those now, do we?
Well, no,
he's a
you're
comedian.
familiar with him. He's basically the light worker stuff, but he's taking the piss. He's a comedian. You recognize him.
Okay.
Yeah. But he did an interview with Jordan Peterson's daughter today, and
Oh yeah, that guy.
so I left a comment, and then I woke up, and then I noticed I had like 1,000 notifications on my phone, and it turns out like Michaela like pinned the comment to the that's there he is. That's pinned the comment to the top of the her YouTube page or something like this, right?
Oh, nice.
And all I said, it was about comedy. I said, you know, it's something that the authoritarians can never deal with is comedy. They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It pisses them off, essentially, and they don't know what to do with it, and they can't stand it. And so humor is the way to fight the system, really. It really is. And that's what I think JP Sears does. But anyway, it was just really funny. So I put on Twitter that the love affair between me and Michaela Peterson is still ongoing, and she's too obsessed with me. Which is funny because I would love to have a love affair with her. She's beautiful.
Yeah, that pans out then.
Yeah. Anyway.
Another little thing. Obviously, as I'm testing it out and trying to do a show, which I think people may, someone in the chat's tuning to be, but you're allowed to free will. Remember that when things don't go your way, free will.
Yeah.
But I've got to
determinism. When they do go your way.
Exactly. Well, yeah. You follow me. Excellent. My spell is working. Excellent. And when they don't, well, free will. Thank you, creation. Yes, love you, Prime Creator. I'm going to talk to you when I die like a manager. The Late Show has their top 10 here in Australia. Tonight Live, which with Steve Izard had top 7 because also on Channel 7. A long meeting coming up with that, I'm sure, as well. So Ladder Creator has was it 7+1 because it's a reference to bullets and a PK Walther sort of whatever. It's bullets. So I'm going with the top 9 because it seems spiritual. Completion.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Well, 9 angles and all that, right?
Yeah, and all that, that type of thing. So this is my top 9.
Saturnian worship. No,
just little things, control of all
just
of creation.
Little stuff, the mind, moon, matrix and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. Yeah.
All that wacky stuff. That's right.
Wacky.
All right. Yeah, so Morlock, what's going on there? No, anyway. I should preface it as well. Unfortunately, a journalist has allegedly committed suicide. He was the one that broke the story on Bill Clinton talking to, I think, the Attorney General back in 2016 before the election. And he was, I can't remember his name, unfortunately. But he was basically saying... No. That's nearly 30 years ago. And
what year am I in?
Well,
2021.
The calendar says 2021. But that just
Gregory.
See, now I've got top 9, and I just thought of another title because of that. So there's going to be a +1 to the top 9.
Top 10. Back to top 10.
Take
Well,
it to
honorable
11.
mention. Yeah. But these go to 11. Yes. All right. Maybe I should get through them because, like,
mine goes to 11. How about that, mate? Mine goes to 11.
What's the next one? No numbers.
Yeah, because 20 minutes in, like 35. All right, top 35. And we haven't
I've got another one that makes that 137.
Yeah, I haven't even actually told you the
Yeah, have you
subject.
ever thought about 38 though, you guys?
No. Oh, have you ever thought of stopping? Because I have. That's what I'm doing now. Now, so basically, I decided, like, I don't know if the Clintons are getting a show on Netflix, but I thought, the top 10 titles plus one title of the Clinton show on Netflix. So the plus one is careful with that ashtray, Hillary. That's a Mr. Foster reference, because that's apparently he was taken out. There was a ashtray involved, and then a weapon, and but that
happens.
it happens. It was Hillary's cleaning
As
the
you do.
ashtray and it went off,
As you do.
and hit his temple, and because they were having an affair while she was married to the governor of Arkansas. Anywho, so number 9 of the titles for the Clinton show on Netflix. Number 9 is Wheel of Misfortune. So,
Nice.
Number 8, Suicide They Hope, which is a Murder She Wrote. Suicide They Hope.
Yeah.
She wrote all the murders, by the way, which is the big plot twist.
You could. Is Angela Lansbury still alive? You can get her back in there.
Who knows with cloning these days? Maybe Angela Lansbury is the mother clone of Hillary, because she keeps changing shapes. Number 7, Survivor, the Clintons.
Okay. Epstein Island.
Yeah, Epstein Island. You're not voted off. You're just taken out if you survive. Number 6, The Untouchables, the story of power, money, fear, rape, murder, and sex. And they get away with it too. So the 6. Number 5, Political Hacks. Because I actually did some research for this comedy sketch, and like, what's the top 20 shows on television in 2021?
Oh, I got my list too.
Yeah, dear God, it's shite. Anyway, number 4, Clinton's employees series of unfortunate events. I like that one.
I like that one.
Yeah. Number 3, Gangs of Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah. And number 2, Baby Raping Lizard Wizards and Gardens.
Nice.
That's my favorite so far.
Like House and Gardens. It's raping lizards and gardens. And number 1, and so you always I learned this from Letterman. You put your best one is number 2, and the number 1's like a letdown. So because you just go into the sting and the playoff. But number 1 is for the title of Clinton's show on Netflix. It's the Clinton Bitches. So there you go. Usually where the band plays now. There you go. So
Can I suggest one?
I got one to suggest too.
See how easy it is. Go ahead.
Oh, just the list. Would that not just be one of them?
Yeah. That would work. Yeah. It's without season 3, we actually get to the Clintons, because we've just gone through everybody that like allegedly suicided, be it friends, family, employees.
The show starts off with that kind of big hammer noise. Duh. Tonight's drama starts out with just another person on the list.
Yeah. Item 46. Welcome to episode 46.
Yeah. So mine would be Stranger Things.
Season 4.
It's just season 4. It's just, but I mean, it's all about mind control and the governments and all that stuff. But so you could just list off, different TV shows, Game of Thrones. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
everything.
I was thinking, I couldn't really put it into a title, but I was thinking of like a holiday show. And I can't think of I think Postcards is a holiday show, but I don't know if that would work internationally as a joke. But, today we're just going to Bosnia or Libya. And this is where Hillary ignored. Haiti. Because
An idiot abroad. Yeah.
Mrs.
Clinton, Secretary of State. Yeah.
The example I use of why don't you trust Hillary Clinton? Well, she said the story when she landed in Bosnia. They had to run from the plane under a hail of sniper bullets across the tarmac there. And then someone shows the video of a 6-year-old girl with a bunch of flowers walking up and giving it to her. I'm like, well, I think she's not really beefing up the story there, but outright lying.
Yeah, such a hero. She always puts herself in the front of the front of the lines.
Yeah. Not
Speaking
like
of, I mean,
nothing
here's
like
a movie.
Princess Di hugging an AIDS victim or going into a jungle full of unused
Lepers.
landmines and everything else like that. No, but it's
Yeah.
Hillary making
She
shit
did
up.
she did an adult film with lepers. That's how nice she was, and she would always bring biscuits and offer biscuits to the whole crew. That's what I heard. That's a lot joke, people. Okay.
Yeah, no, because which is like what Diana or Hillary? Because both jokingly both could work like comedically,
I
but
chose to put Diana in that.
because
slot there.
in the
I
joke
don't
that
see
you put
Hillary
forward,
offering biscuits.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, the main character of the joke was nice, so I don't see Hillary going just strange. So that's basically it. Feeling that's a quarter of a show. So what about you,
Fantastic.
chaps? Anything happen? I know here in Victoria, our restrictions are laxing on Friday because apparently COVID works on Roman numeral time, and so at midnight on Friday morning, we don't have to wear masks outside.
Oh, welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're allowed to travel more than 25 kilometers from our
Interesting.
house. So yes, master. Thank you so much, master. Thank you. Yes.
Here in the States, we still have a collar on our throats, and we are only allowed to go to the bathroom, and we basically suck through a feeding tube. No, I'm joking, but they have
Be watching The Matrix again.
the Matrix. Yeah, it's called the world, Monty. It's called reality. It's no, it's things are relaxing. It's been an interesting week for sure. I've solved a puzzle, which I'm not going to get into because it would bore the crap out of all of you. But it's in San Francisco of all cities, and if anyone wants to look it up, it's called Byron Priest's The Secret. And this guy went around the country and he buried 12 treasures in 12 different cities. One of them was Boston. That was solved last year with my help. And now I moved on to San Francisco, and I think I found the spot. So that's pretty big news in my world.
Treasure hunt kind of thing.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
So is it like 200 years ago, or was it just 4 months ago because someone got bored?
No. 1982, and then the guy got in a car accident, and it came out with a book. Yeah, and it's really famous actually. Well, now it's been picking up speed because of the Discovery Network has done shows on it. And Josh Gates from Discovery Unknown or whatever, the Expedition Unknown. And then one was found in Boston for the first time in 40 years. Like only two have been discovered, one in Chicago, one in Cleveland. And there's a painting that you have to pair with a verse that gives you the hint to the exact dig location.
Cool.
Anyway, so it's very cool. And I think I figured out where San Francisco is based on lots of visual clues and things.
Nice. Well,
yeah.
There you go. See, yeah.
You can't really just you can't pay too much attention to the world and news and all that. You gotta get,
especially now where it's just utter shite. Where it's like, why are you pointing your television at the roses? Because the amount of manure coming out of it's going to help them grow exponentially. I'm just pointing out, like it's just, and they ignore so much. We're at the point where Fauci emails come out. No.
Mm.
And that was very quiet, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, even
I thought for sure they're just going to throw him under the bus.
Or it takes them 18 months. Like if you saw Jon Stewart on Colbert or Corbett or that git, I don't watch it because he's not funny and he's a shill. And I
don't like him.
Yeah, he did a parody of 500 Miles by the Proclaimers, but it's 500 vials. And he's actually name checking, pharmaceutical companies, and it's like this is just so bad, wrong.
So I saw some segments on there where it wasn't the audience wasn't there, so it's so awkward.
Yeah. It's like
it's almost it's like watching what's that show without the laugh track? Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
It's just not funny. is just not funny at all.
No, it's not. Especially, it's not. It's funny to non-nerds and geeks, but that's because non-nerds and geeks are making fun of it. But actual nerds and geeks, like, well, that's wrong.
No one watches it.
No, yeah.
I mean, that I know.
Well, it's
I'm not
spawned.
standing around the
Anyway,
water cooler. Did you see Colbert last night? Oh my god.
yeah, it's like
No,
it's more. It's more about I saw Colbert last night. Why? What's wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
But Jon Stewart was putting forward that and it's just a simple thing like, oh, it's a conspiracy. No, the COVID lab is in Wuhan, and the COVID came from Wuhan. It's not a massive jump. It's like
no, it's not.
No,
and the funny thing is, he
It's terrible.
He was great friends with George, the famous Carlin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's interesting as well, where like we were putting forward, because we can't say 100%, but you weren't allowed to actually ask the question. It's like, is it from the lab, which is 200 meters from the wet market? Oh no, shut it down! You're lying! Shut it down! Blah blah. But now 18 months, it actually. However, there has been a slight pushback of like, should we believe Jon Stewart's insane conspiracy theory? I'm like, oh, are you getting the memo? Like today, you're allowed to talk about it.
It's the very first thing that everyone thought, and everyone who shut down that line of thinking, is to blame.
Yeah, even 4 months ago, if you mentioned that, you'll be banned from YouTube, and so it's where plus,
like plus the complicit tech companies who banned and took monetization of content away from YouTube, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's sort of what I was getting back to a couple of minutes ago. Is they don't care. Even like their gaslighting is terrible, and when they get caught, they gaslight you some more. It's basically like, well, Dr. Fauci's not exactly the best person, and he's lying, and he's got this wrong. Oh, you're one of those conspiracy Q-tard type of people. You're theorists, and you're insane, and you've got mental problems. Here are the emails pointing out everything I just said.
Yeah,
you're one of those conspiracy Q-tard people, aren't you?
Are you one of those people who can't actually do your own research, even if it was just one thing that you had to look up for your own information?
Yeah. Even if, say, as an example, Hillary Clinton comes out and confesses to something on live television. Well, she's yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that level of the Democratic version of reality. The lead singer of Stained, Aaron Lewis, I believe. Yeah,
he's East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, where I used to live.
He's moved out of the hard rock metal aspect, and in the last 10, 15 years, he's been doing country and western. Good for him. He's doing well. Yeah, country and western, both kinds. Blues Brothers reference. Hey, not my cup of tea, but if good music is good music, so I can listen to Willie Nelson. Don't buy his stuff. I can listen to him because it's like, well, that's Willie. That man's high as a kite right now, and he still sounds awesome.
Oh, his songs are amazing. He's one of the great. He was a star when he was 14 years old.
Exactly. There you go. So he's had his practice done. He's got it under his belt.
Williams.
He's the first man I respected with ponytails. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Remember Todd Middleton?
Anywho. He's basically at a concert in the last month because he's more conservative. He's not a big fan of the left. I was sort of left growing up because that's right. But now the far left have taken the goalposts and ran with it. And if they disagree, if anyone disagrees with the leftards, you're right wing. It's like I'm just standing here. I'm like I just don't think you're a Nazi. Shut up. But basically pointed out that all the racist laws and everything out the scars on America are all Democrats. So it's like that. Like, well, yeah, kinda. But of course they're being fact checked. Well, no, it's not really.
Great Willie Nelson story is this. So
I've got a great Willie Nelson joke.
Do you? Okay, great. So his wife at the time walks in on him making love to a bunch of groupies. And she runs away and he runs after her. right? Like down, the street naked or whatever. So he catches up to her, and she's crying and stuff. And he says, "Wait a second, are you gonna believe me, or are you gonna believe your lying eyes?" And that's a true story. Because it's just so funny. Like, someone trying to, speaking of gaslighting, it's like, yeah, you saw what you saw.
Yeah. Well, if it's not true, why are you standing in the middle of the street naked?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Now, my joke is I got this from Devon Townsend, and it's what we refer to in the industry as a street joke, which means you can use it. I didn't write it. It's just comics use certain street jokes because they're funny. What is worse? What is the worst thing to hear when you're in a back alley having fellatio given to you by Willie Nelson?
Well, I'm not Willie Nelson.
I'm not Willie Nelson. Yes, correct. You win a prize. Yeah.
That was what I was gonna say I was like, oh, he has a Willie Nelson joke. I'm like, yeah. Usually the girls say, the version I know is, what's the worst thing you want to hear after waking up after sleeping with Willie Nelson? So I'm not Willie Nelson. I told that joke one time, and someone in the audience says, "I've got AIDS." And I was like,
with an upward inflection like that, like they're even questioning themselves.
Yeah.
That's awkward. That's awkward.
They were like guessing the joke, I was like,
Brandon, someone wasn't allowed back at that Sydney Sunday meeting prayer group.
Exactly. I was like,
Walter, we need you not to come back. What, was it the AIDS joke? Walter, it was the AIDS joke. Yeah.
Oh man, but it was kind of funny too, looking in retrospect.
Yeah. Hindsight is a superpower. Everyone has it. You just choose to use it.
It was so awkward though. It was like,
part of my not my Justice League, my Incompetence League. You have Captain Obvious. I'm Captain Pedantic. Hindsight Man.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done that. Thanks for that. Go away.
Oh, cutting the others. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Captain Obvious. He's an asshole. Thank you. Yeah. Why are you always pedantic? Because you're always wrong. I mean, it's simple, really. It's like, if you're right, I wouldn't say anything. And a chair's been thrown. So yeah, I'm gonna probably not write a comic. Well, I need an
I think
artist.
if you sketch something out for Netflix, get down there next week. Pitch it to them.
You'll be surprised. Just like, since the superhero genre is slowly dying, here's my Incompetent League.
They are looking for stories. They are looking for writers.
Yeah, and I won't go past season 2 because they won't.
No,
In what?
Good.
Well, it's like they make a season, get the money, and they make second season, and it sort of goes okay, and then they cancel shows, and you can never finish the story. And in the bigger scheme of things, if we're an energy farm and they farm off all the loosh and the negativity, people that love stories need freaking, like, even like from The Simpsons. Hey, I need closure on that anecdote. We're at that point where it's like just like even well, you're familiar with American Gods,
Of course.
Yeah. Guess what happened to the TV show?
Oh, I know, canceled. Right.
Yeah. At the moment though, so maybe other studios are going to pick it up, but it's like, I haven't read the novel yet.
To be fair, the show, it was good, but it wasn't like, I don't know, it had issues for me.
Well, you probably actually read the source material, and also,
of course.
If it's just a novel, a bit of a stretch to try and get 5 seasons out of it.
Yeah.
A lot of them just should know when to quit, really. When they get offered another one, but they haven't come up with that main story arc, and they go, "Well, yeah, should we do it? Jump a bunny? Do we can just write anything? Doesn't matter." But yeah, no.
Well, I only
don't be like Madonna. Know when to quit.
Yeah. I'm changing my. You've changed so much now that you look like a 12-year-old Asian boy.
She looks like a pirate now, Madam X or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the surgery was unique Cortek. Let's just put it that way. Because during the last year's the pandemic's still going, but last year there's a video of her in a bath, which I think is full of milk, and it looks like someone's punched Madonna in the face 18 times.
I saw that one. That was just weirdness. That didn't even look like her.
But it's like, us poor people need to stick together. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, yeah, she's like wearing an eye patch or something.
Yeah, she's gone a bit nutty, or worse. She's nutty worse.
He was also always a little bit nutty.
Yeah.
Madonna explains eye patch meaning. Like, no one thinks.
Remember now, she's a Kabbalist, actually.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. She takes it very seriously. She was a Kabbalist before. At the Jews. No, I'm just kidding.
She's the Dory.
But you know who talked about that? You do a show with Andrew Bartzi's, Monty, correct? Still? Do you still do that show?
Yeah, do the comedy show, which is Friday week. We did one last Friday. So.
I love Andrew, so tell him I said hi.
Well, you'll be seeing a lot
about this.
Yeah, you'll be watching. You'll be seeing a lot more of Andrew at the moment, as well as Bruce McDonald, because they finally released their book.
Wait, it's done, is it?
Yep. They released it into the wild, and it's been tagged, and it's already killed 3 children.
Excellent.
No, wait, no, that's not. No, sorry, wrong book. That's the Clinton book. But yeah, for those, if you just go to your search engine, just go to Google. No, go to your search engine. It's the Galactic Historian: The World According to Andrew Bartzis, and the paperback is up on Amazon, which is still the enemy, but still you get a nice book. So he'll be popping up talking all about that. And so as the great Homer Simpson said, like, now we play the waiting game. Okay, waiting game's boring. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos.
That's good. Oh, congratulations. I mean, it's
good to get projects like that.
Yeah, but he would bring up he would tell me about, the esoteric parts of politics, and we had really great discussions. I was trying to start a podcast, and the recording didn't come out right because of the setup and stuff. He had this professional setup, and I had just my iPad,
Yeah,
right. Something like that, right, at the time.
And now, straight from the 1940s, it's Brandon Young. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Fireside chat. Yeah,
yes, I'm on fire. Help me. I'm rolling around now. It's like that's the American version. I can't do the BBC. The BBC voice has a certain thing. Even up until the 70s, it's like everyone would sound like this on the BBC.
On the BBC.
Yes, even in the ABC in Australia, and they would actually, instead of getting cricket when the Ashes were played in England, they get sort of line by line description of what's actually playing, and so they would do sound effects in the background where you actually hear the ball getting hit or something like that. If you remember the MASH episode, it's similar to that.
The English commentators, the BBC commentators, are so funny. They're so funny. Like I was watching the London opening games, and they're like, "Oh, here she comes now. Here's the Queen." With James Bond parachuting down, it's just like crazy. Like they're so into it. It's so funny. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. Once again, The Simpsons, where you had I think Kent Brockman commentating soccer. It's like he's passed the ball. Then you move one across to the Mexican, and he passes the ball, and
yeah, exactly.
Just options.
Jeez, I remember going to see the World Cup, you guys, and I thought I was going to see the best soccer game ever.
You think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I went there. Guess what? Score was 0-0.
Mm-hmm. After an hour and a half passing.
At the 3 hours.
Yeah. You wonder why riots break out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. At least Australian football. It's aerial ping pong. With ballerinas, but still, you can have a high-scoring game, and if the two teams are matched against each other, you can get some bloody great football, or it gets pathetic and boring because one team sucks. And it's really weird. Like you have the grand final, which is like the Super Bowl. That's our version of the Super Bowl. And I used to watch it because my thinking was, well, the last two teams made it, so they should be good. And for the last 15 years, it's like, oh, they win. Like,
I think soccer just needs some gimmicks. Soccer just needs some gimmicks. It needs to half the height of the goalies, so you can only have like 2 or 3 foot high goalies, and they can have like a little mini tramp in the middle if they want. Something, maybe some fireworks on the posts.
No, I came up with something about 15, 16 years ago, and that's archers.
Oh.
It's set in each team has an archer, and they're given 3 arrows, and they're allowed to hit anyone on the field.
That's awesome.
Yeah, including the ball. Just spice it up a bit. Like, he's running down the side. He's running down the left wing. He's past Jenkins. Is like, fall, jeez, an arrow to the thigh. Well, that was a good play by Jeremy the Hood Hankey.
The Hood.
It just isn't. Unfortunately, archery is banned from horse racing because that's not right. Because people actually get upset about horses getting shit by arrows.
Yeah, except for humans.
Humans, that's fine. Yeah,
I reckon you could work them into horse racing as well. I reckon you could work them into every single sport now.
You could, but do you want to? It's not that you can't.
I do now. I didn't know I did before, but I do now.
See, no, you're one of those, though. It's like, watch Farlap, Seabiscuit, and then get back to me about, they're beautiful creatures.
I met an Aussie, a few Aussies. They would hang out at this bar, in Cardiff, in California, because the climate, I guess, it's kind of like Australia, and that's why they like it. It's kind of a surf city, whatever. And they're so funny, these Aussies. First of all, the women are amazing. Second of all, the guys were friendly. They would come over, and this guy was hammered, and he said to me, they had this rugby match on. He said, this was a couple of years ago. He said, you see this? And I said, yeah. He's like, he's so proud. He was like, this is our quarterfinal. And I was like, okay, great. He was like, yeah, it's a quarterfinal, I'm like, yeah, awesome, cool. It was just, they're really great people. Anyway.
Yeah, if you get the good
bad people. Yeah.
Oh no, I can introduce you to some bad people here in Australia.
Oh, I'm sorry. His name is Dundee. No, I'm joking. It's for the Americans. I feel like an ass right now.
Well, there you go. That's basically what it is. So I'm glad you clarified that. Cardiff in California, like you're in Wales. Sometimes. Cinema Sins do that. It's like, oh, thank you. It's Paris in France. Well, it could be Paris, Texas. There is 2 more Melbournes. So, obviously the desert gives it away. It's not France or France. But it helps.
Around. Well, I joke around. I have people at the University of Cardiff. I say, I lived in Cardiff. So
they start speaking funny to you.
I'm like, they named your city after us, which is funny, which is not true, obviously.
No, not at all. I still think Wales looks like a shepherd telling his wolf to chase the end of the English tale. But I show it to people and they go, "What? That's the landmass. The landmass actually looks like a man wearing a strange hat pointing, and his dog is going for a run."
You know who pointed that out? Is James Joyce in Finnegan's Wake and Ulysses.
Okay. There's a river in Australia that looks like Emperor Palpatine. There's a great meme of it. It's a profile of Ian McDermott, whoever played the Emperor. And it's a perfect thing. And it's like, why is the Australian outback why do I feel like the Australian outback is going to tell me about the tragedy of Plagueis the Wise?
The tragedy of Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
Right.
That's an ongoing theme. So, normies start getting to know it because they've seen it so many times. The the latest Star Wars one is Anakin and Padme sitting on a lawn, and they say something like, "Oh, I don't know." It's basically it's Padme asks the question like, "Oh, you're joking, aren't you?" And then Anakin's staring, not committal, and is like, "You are joking, are you?"
Right.
That's the latest. That's the latest.
I saw one where it was like, so are we gonna have breakfast? And she goes, well, yeah, and then we're gonna have second breakfast, and then we're gonna have second breakfast, right? Yeah, something. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My cousin who does the voice of Leia was on Access Hollywood, which is a big show in the United States for like, it's kind of like a sleazy TMZ celebrity paparazzi stupid thing, but she was on it for a tiny little segment. But she does the voice for like all kinds of Disney characters and little kid shows, and she's very creepy. She does the voice of Siri and all this stuff, and I can't do her voices, but it was just very surreal to see her on TV with Mario Lopez introducing her. It's really funny.
Oh yeah. It's an actual someone with talent, and is sort of gets work and gets paid, and then they step into the world of sleaze because it's Hollywood and everything else like that.
So sad with her. Yeah.
So like she does the voice of Leia, and like, did she do Clone Wars or because she's?
I don't know. I think it's the newer. I don't know if it's I think it's the newer one.
Leia's,
and the ride, the Galaxy's Edge ride.
Yeah, it'd be okay. Yeah, the ride. So Leia would have been Rebels. That's when Leia, because Rebels, because Clone Wars she's not alive, and
Shelby Young is her name. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bad Batch is just after the end of Return or Revenge of the Sith, and so yeah, but well, her voice was good, from memory.
Yeah, she did. She's okay. I mean, she just has that talent. And it's just for me, it's super annoying.
Well,
is she an older sister or a younger sister?
Cousin.
Younger cousin.
Oh. Younger cousin.
She's baby cousin, yeah. But she
so that's worse.
She can do every Disney princess, like
the dream.
and that's right. So it's so annoying.
All I can remember was just telling her to shut up.
And she does like the baby shark. She's in like a baby, baby shark, dude.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Whatever the stupid. I don't know what that is. But she does all those stupid voices, and but the cool thing, she did like video game stuff. She is in Resident Evil, supposedly. Having one of the Resident Evil games in Wolfenstein, Youngblood. Pun intended. Yeah, so she's cool, but
that's pretty cool.
So that was this week. She was on Access Hollywood. Good for her. Congratulations, Shelby.
Yeah, I'm actually finished. I read John Edmonds and Bruce McDonald's book Stardust Ranch, and nice. We've put it up on the net, and we're just waiting for a tax form to be cleared, and then it should have hit the ground running. So if you want to listen, so I'll let people know when they want to listen to me for 7.5 hours.
Yes, absolutely. I'll get it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I that helps me with royalties and stuff. So
well, just send me the link in the Skype.
I will when I filled out. I think I filled out the tax form correctly because I'm a foreigner. I'm not from around here. And so I have to send it. I'm actually engaging correspondence with the IRS.
Oh, that's fun. That's so much fun.
Yeah, it's basically.
They're such nice people.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, when President Obama put
helpful.
Those greeting groups of look into them, because it's through a website called Authors Republic, who try and help people because audiobooks are popular, but the money's not there because people keep ripping us off, and it's a US based, obviously, and so I think there's a tax treaty between Australia and the United States. So I think it's up to 10% or 10% tax because of Australian. But if there was no treaty, it'll be 30% because, you know, the US government's greedy. That may have been mentioned on Revolution Radio Studio A once or twice. You're listening to, if you're still here, Planet Collingwood with my name's Monty Dean. That's Cortek. That's Brandon Young. You're awesome. We're just going to quickly go to these messages, and then we'll be right back. Thank you. Please sit down in your seats, which are 1.5 meters or 6 feet away, because, you know, coughs and that. Welcome back to Studio A here on Revolution Radio. It is Planet Collingwood and bit of comedy on the old Rev Radio. And I'm not sure how popular we are because people sort of tune in. You know, it's 2 a.m. I'm going to tune in and listen to some really good information. And now I've got 3 morons talking to me. Like, yep, hello.
Hey, now, come on. One moron, it's me.
No, I'm a moron. So is my wife. I love that joke from Life of Brian. Anyway, if you enjoyed the last hour, please go to revolution.radio, freedomslips.com, donate what you can, click the Patreon button, give a shekel or two, and then pop into the chat room, pop into the Zezel store, and you can also go to the archives and check out shows that you've missed. It's you know the routine if you've been listening to this, because I'm saying it over and over again. However, we do something different tonight. This half of the show is sponsored by SJ's Ninja Dojo for Squirrels, a place where your fur babies learn the way of the squinger. SJ's Ninja Dojo for Squirrels. Let your rodent defend you. So, gentlemen, that's all my comic notes for the evening. So it's all up in the air now.
You've also seen that Rick and Morty clip about the squirrels, haven't you?
Probably, yeah. I've watched all season 4, but I don't know. Something's missing. I bought the season, the 3-season box set where it's got like a massive art book, which I really need to, it's what on my list of things to do is learn to draw or keep learning to draw. And it's like, well, it better be this bloody lifetime, because it's on a list, but the enthusiasm's not quite there yet. But
you need to practice. Find a way to make it fun.
Well, exactly, yeah. And I used to be able to copy drawings quite well, where it's like, oh, that's fantastic, and then it's a copy of this. Well, it's still good. So I would get the dimensions without sort of, the process of doing a grid, and you copy that way. I didn't need no grid. I did no need grid, yo. I'm saying I can do it freehand, mother lover. But then you stop. What I find fascinating with drawing is wherever you stop, that is the level you're at. And so if you stop drawing at 6, you're going to draw like a 6-year-old for the rest of your life.
That's
However,
me.
yeah. But if you
that's me.
But if you keep drawing and taking lessons, who knows what you can do in just 6 weeks? You could, because you're obviously not 6 years old anymore.
I am. I feel like I really. My growth has been stunted. Yeah.
My inner child came out last night. My cat started licking my face, and it's cute and all, having this very tiny bit of sandpaper rub your face. But it's like I haven't laughed like that since I was 8. I don't think I laughed like that when I was 8. But yeah, the inner child's like, get out of the bloody way. I'm the forefront of existence at the moment.
Well, they're just doing that to see if you're breathing. So, because if you weren't breathing, they would eat your eyes.
Yeah, that's and we've gone dark. Thanks for that. Yeah,
but
having a nice conversation, and this Mr. Young comes in and poo-poos in the punch.
No, I love cats. Trust me, I love animals. Believe me, I don't know if this is true, but it makes sense. Kind of. I wouldn't mind if my cat did that. Yeah.
They have found out, like, if you die in an apartment, dogs will mourn you for 2 weeks, but cats will start eating you in 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, exactly.
Well, from a spiritual point of view, it's like, Nigerian left. I'm eating this. This husk is left, yo. See, my brain goes, yeah, do Chappelle. Then I realized, no, I'll get thrown off everything. if I actually say whatever, if I did say like Chappelle. So I translate into and call everyone Nigerians.
Right, I got you.
Yeah, because you can't say that word. Well, I believe I can say that word. I just it's only out of 400 uses, there's probably 2 that I can use.
Just about
and one of them is I think I can use this word. It's nothing else. Yeah, if you don't want to say, even saying the N word, your mind just said. So that's the power of there's a bit of mind control there. N word.
The thing with that is it's in so many great songs.
Well, yeah, if you don't want the word to be used, stop using the word. It's the Barbara Streisand effect. It's kind of wacky that way. If you point it out, attention goes there.
Right.
What's Barbara got to do with it?
She
broke up with her husband or something.
There was photos of a house, and
Okay.
they were being public not produced. The printed. What's the word I'm looking for?
Paparazzi?
No. Like publication.
The house was publicated? Was it public?
So yeah, you're in the same brain as me. It's like publicated. No, that's not the right word.
Publicized?
Published.
Yeah, published.
Publicized.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. See, the English language, 2 Australians and an American trying to figure out. I don't know, burglarized, stole stuff.
Did we get there? Did we get there in the end?
Yeah, so, I'm English, Scottish, Welsh, and a hint of Prussian. So my DNA is internally having a fight with itself. So these photos were published, and the Streisand estate, if I can say it that way, said, "No, stop that." And everyone's like, "Well, why?" And by saying, "No, you have to take these down," it draw more attention. And so that's the Streisand effect. Is because it's like, everyone, do not look at that boy that I'm pointing at right now.
We're going through the Streisand effect right now.
Oh, yeah.
With what?
With the best was a meme that I saw recently, and it had like these 2 scientists looking into a microscope.
Oh yes,
and it said it's mutated into a totalitarian dictatorship. Totalitarian dictatorship.
Yeah, well, that's the level we're at. It's getting that ridiculous. Like I was on in the microcosm with Jimmy Jean last night. It was the Mr. Rowe edition. I think it's the Dr. Rowe Wild Ride, and it is. But Rowe was saying, all hail the Rowe Nation, by the way, basically saying
Mr.
that
Rowe.
since the election, don't care.
Yeah.
Because it's like, really, it's just the same old crap. Like in Andrew Butts puts it, if the global narrative is like a TV show, the writing sucks, the writers suck, there's no form of story, the soundtrack's boring, so no one really cares.
And it's on free-to-air TV with ads that are 25% louder, so no one's watching anyway.
Yeah, the compression wars. It's like, Now, the thing is, it doesn't mean everyone, we've given up and we go back to sleep. It's not. It's like, well, no, I'm still awake. I know, I do my spiritual routines. I got my element of meditation, which is, putting on music, listening to headphones and walking. But still, it's my version of meditation.
Yeah.
It's not like, no, I'm going to watch free-to-air television and buy everything that I see. It's not that level. It's just like, it's more like, well, this politician from this party did this.
That's why I like audiobooks, and I will probably also help along the old audiobook that you did, because you can do other things while you listen to it.
Yes, that's the
so
way.
Tell us when it comes out, or where to get it from, or whatever.
Yeah, and basically it's such like it's a Shakespearean Greek tragedy that was not made in Greece, and Shakespeare had nothing to do with it. Like, if that makes sense. It's like, what the hell is this? And it's just like, whatever. Because the election, people still argue, the election got stolen. These baseless accusations. It's like, if you watch if you watch the night how it unfolds, and you actually do, I don't know,
Yeah.
7 minutes worth of.
Well, that carried on from one
journalism
of,
used to be.
that carried on from one of your shows, and then we just stuck on, and we thought something was going to happen. Then halfway through, all the counting stopped. It was like, well, surely, okay, we'll just stay on, a couple more hours until like 8 o'clock in the morning, and because surely they'll start up again or something weird. This is just so weird. And then other people kind of came in, and like Jacker came in about 6 a.m. or something like that, and I was going, this is kind of how things usually happen. And
yeah, it's basically
definitely not.
Yeah, and even Razorfist knows said it stole because you can see the markers where this is not right. Statistically this should never happen. Blah blah blah. It's like say the Clintons, everyone dies around them. Maybe it's them.
I don't think they didn't steal it. I think maybe the right term is they stole it back. And this is never going to be a system that will prosecute themselves.
Well,
I think like listening to the last half an hour of Why Not Before You was kind of interesting to see where they're summing up things, and it's good to listen to. But it's so far. We need to make we can't be more. We can't be kind of delegating responsibility for these things, these major things to other people, because it's always going to be corrupted.
Well, it won't be always, but there should be accountability.
It seems to be.
Well, yeah,
always.
because there's no accountability, no power to back it up, so the corruption's out of hand. Like if you reduce corruption by 30%, between 10 and 30%, life would be better. Where it's Machiavellian. It's like you don't become a hard nose and steal everything. You bribe the populace with bread and circuses so they feel happy, and then they find out, oh, he's got $4 million. Well, good for him. He did well, didn't he? Instead of, it's like, I've just lost my house. My wife has taken the kids. I've only got a pair of shoes left on I'm going to go and smash the state. You know what I mean? You push them too far. We don't adapt to that well when our life is going utter crap. We sort of like, what? What do you think someone has nothing left to lose will do?
Oh, I've seen it. There's been just in LA and different areas. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos in America right now in some ways.
And if
my friend Lauren, who does child rescue things in Austin, Texas, Tim Dillon is moving away from Austin, Texas. But just in the past week, there was a mass shooting in Austin, Texas. And just tonight, she witnessed an armed robbery and possibly a murder, right in her apartment complex. She's shooken up by it.
Yeah.
And a friend broke into my friend's car. People are going through cars just to get change. I mean, it's rough out here.
Yeah, and it's you've got the element of defund the police and do all this other stuff. It's the media is a major problem where they're pushing their stupidity ideas, and they can't, and no one's taking account in high ups and no accountability. Like I like freaking people out by reminding them it's not even 5 months since Biden became president. And you can see what he's done alone. You could say damage, but just the ability, what he's done with jobs, prices, the price of lumber, blah, 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 and everything else like that. Yeah. Or do it better when you explain, let's see what Biden's actually done when you talk to somebody. And then at the end go, and it's only been 5 months. Yeah. Watch their world crumble. So, but on the flip side, you can actually have an awesome life by not. You can observe but don't engage, and you can. I think we're all old enough that we were alive in the '80s, where milk came in glass, and and that was recyclable and everything else like that. Now, someone who's not coming in glass, because I can't think of a better segue. Phrasing. Yes, I do love a bit of Archer.
But in plastic.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, someone that was there and survived. Let's be fair. Oh, I'm rapping. Word, you. Viking, how are you, sir?
Good. I eat glass. Breakfast.
Hey, Viking.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
That's a really strange way of recycling, but hey.
Yeah, it's good for the intestines. Roughage they call it. Hey, listen, I was going to say about the whole Biden thing, man. As far as well as inflation and price of gas and the supply chain shortage. I mean, it's just absolute a mess. It's a shit show, man. And inflation is like we're starting to see inflation about 8%. Things. I mean, as of last week, all these major corporations are announcing 8 to 12%. We're talking about Campbell's and all these different foods and paper products and shortage of tin, as I mentioned before, for tin cans, and it's the drought. I mean, the drought here in California is absolutely insane. And then that was all bioengineered, to create a food shortage. And their agenda is in full swing, to depopulate the planet, to crash the economy, to put us in a tailspin. And this is this is their course of action. This is what they have wanted, for so long. Now with their puppet in place, they're trying like mad to execute this. But the flip side of this is that because all this is happening, massive amounts of people are waking up, and this is what I'm saying here is that you have to have this swing of the pendulum here in this duality in order to wake people up, because people wake up in adversity. We needed this adversity. We needed this to happen in a strange, macabre way. We needed this to occur to push mankind, the awakening process into humanity, to occur. And it's a bizarre, mad world, but it's still in some strange way in divine order.
Yeah, even like you're getting to the point where, I mean, it's a comedic, gallows humor. It's a way that humanity or humans deal with negative stuff is they make a joke about it. But another person died from the Clintons. I'll just add that to the chalkboard.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like
that's top 7.
Yeah, there you go. It's a meme. Now, the Clinton, people die around the Clintons. It's like, well, yeah. But the thing is, we're getting at the point is there isn't a force to back up the accountability for said white collar crimes where people get away with certain things. Like Obama, they impeached Donald Trump twice and failed. It's like, good luck. Well done, chaps. Yeah. Morons. But then Biden could have been impeached for, like, they impeached Trump for what Biden did. That's Aaron Lewis was mentioning. It's pure projection. You blame the other person of what you're actually doing, and people are waking up to that that pattern because the part of the Democratic Party have been doing it for nearly 150 years. Where you're all racist because we are, and some people say the quiet bit loud and the loud bit quiet. Yeah,
sociopath's number one weapon, isn't it? If someone's being called someone, to call someone the bigger thing of what they're being called or whatever.
Well, Joe Biden.
Really childish.
I do like later with Crowder. They always refer to him as the former Vice President Biden because they don't accept the conclusion or the outcome of the election. Now they've got the right way of thinking of like we don't know who won. That's the point. And my basic point about the whole election thing is we're not allowed to double check the results, and for me that's enough.
But it's not about the results or who won either. It was the complete destruction of any kind of confidence in politics as we know it. And with that win, they've completely lost the war with that battle,
Oh yeah. That's like Razorfist pointed out. The voting, other countries that have worse elections and coups at least have voter ID. The United States is still working on the honor system.
Yeah, and it's got to be in pencil. Don't bring your pens in. It's got to be in pencil.
Pencil. Yeah. So can't wait.
That's only been the last 2 or 3 elections. I mean, I remember having to show up with a driver's license and they check off your address. And
oh, they did.
Oh yeah, this is mutated again. Going back to your scientists, they definitely have mutated into their favor. This is a strategic operation to allow this voter fraud to occur.
Well, we all kind of knew that the electronic ones were kind of dodgy as well, didn't we?
Well,
yeah, it's behavior modification.
I mean, you going back to when Bush Jr. had this election, and it was the hang chads in Florida. I mean, that was also a fiasco when that occurred. That was a subterfuge as well. But when you really look at the results here, you have the true results here that they're coming up with is 80 million people voted for Trump and 10 million people voted against Trump. It wasn't even for Biden. The whole thing was, they had these people brainwashed. He's this, he's that, and they held on to this old narrative going back to the Clinton election, where they still are holding on to the fact that he's a white racist, and he's bad, orange man bad. And they didn't vote for Biden. They voted against Trump, and this is what they got.
2020 was the biggest media psyop I've ever seen. Ever,
huge
on the face of the earth.
Yeah, let me share a bit of a intelligent point and see how you react. Are we supposed to believe that Joe Biden, who basically campaigned for half a day in a month, just staying inside
in front of 6 people,
and when he did actually go out, it was in parking lots or in front of 6 people, and had the biggest auto cue.
Giant big circles around it to make it less obvious.
What? Come on, man! Hey, corn pop. Anyway, Joe Biden got more votes in Detroit than Barack Obama did.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like, really? Like, I mean, yeah. Now, well, if they hate Trump, the Trump hatred was there, true, yeah, but I don't see how did Biden get 80 million votes? Because where are they?
I think that outcome's affected politics worldwide, and no one's got any time for these people who are simply wasting time. They're just simply pigs at the trough, wasting everyone else's time. Yeah, and if we can't do it through this system, because this system is so inherently controlled by those people, then we need to make new systems.
So the audit is showing what they're surmising here is 28 million people, more than what was registered, voted. 28 million people was more than was registered, and it's like when they went into the after hours and then they pushed through all these millions of votes, with the machines just keep on feeding the same stack. And in Texas, they're finding that the mail-in vote, the ballots are not even folded, and they have Donald Duck on them, and they're out of state, and dead people and cats and dogs, and they just win for it. I mean, they just completely,
every trick in the book.
Every trick, thinking that we would not even, it's just like, it's so ridiculous. It's it's perverse, and but it's again, people are starting to see this, and people that voted for Biden, regret voting for Biden or against Trump. I see it being more against Trump than Biden.
Yeah,
and also, this idiot on stage, yesterday he's sitting there stumbling for 90 seconds and mistake. He started talking about Syria and kept on saying Libya 3 times.
Has he met with Putin yet?
No, apparently that's today.
It's staggered though. They're not actually in the same room, so he's such a pussy. But because Putin would have just tore him to shreds. I saw that clip, Biden. Where you said you were going to come here to all your rally mates. You said you're going to come here and tell me what I need to know. What is it I need to know? And Biden would have gone.
I watched Crowder this morning, my time as well as US time, and he did a good impression of Putin. What I'm going to do is, with my judo black belt, is fold your clothes while you're in them. And it's like, yeah, really? It's like, it's that there's no bite. It's just farcical, and
He's gonna horseback ride.
what the Arizona, where they're doing an audit of. Now, follow this logic. They're doing an audit of the voting and the election, which is basically double checking the results. Okay, and now
I didn't think you're allowed to do that kind of thing.
Easy, calm down, down, Tiger, down. Apparently, that's undermining democracy, according to the Democrats.
Right.
It's like the leap of logic. Like, let's go to we could go to the Grand Canyon and get my 8-year-old nephew to try and jump it, and he'll have there's more faith in this idea of like, oh, you're checking the results. Well, this is clearly against democracy. Like, how?
And they sent in 100 lawyers to defeat this. You know, it's just like it's hypocrisy.
Very Simpson-esque.
Yeah, it comes down straight to it's like, oh, okay, well, if Biden won the election, let's just check. No.
You know what's interesting though is Putin's been president for like 20 years or something crazy.
It does
right?
seem like he is a robot that doesn't age at all. Just putting it out there. I like the guy. I think he's great. But
he's a clone.
He's a clone. He is a clone. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
There's no wrinkles.
There's no
oil of the
Ulan. He can still horseback ride. Wood with a shirt off.
Wrestles bears.
Bareback on a bear.
Yeah, on a bear.
Snow.
Yeah.
You know.
May Street in the chat. He's the longest selection of a witness. Dang, it's like, I started out as a joke every day 45 of the U.S. election, and I think I got into the 60s. And it's like for my YouTube titles, and it's like day 63. Will this ever end? And it took forever.
Yeah, wears you down.
Here's a caveat: Trump has yet to, admit defeat.
Concede?
He hasn't conceded. He's never conceded this election. Yeah.
So Trump's kind of taking the Third Reich kind of way.
Third Reich.
Well, they never conceded. According to Triple D, they're still at war.
The Nazis didn't lose the war. The German people did. The Nazis got, you know what, we're going to leave. Stuff you people, yeah?
We're going to go down south of America, down to around Bangladesh and start our own plastic surgery.
Right.
Yeah, and then pop into the South Pole and stay there for 70 years while all your idiots work out what's going on.
It's got heels, it's got legs. We'll have a beer festival once a year, better than your
one. There's great skiing in the Bariloche region.
Yeah,
come down.
They got good beer.
They got some great.
We have good car. We have efficient cars. We have efficient beer, and we have Foo Fighters. And we're at the South Pole, and I like the snow. Hans, grab my skis.
Dictators wear the same clothes.
And the women.
And
the women.
Yes. Six floor lines to every man.
That's right.
Right. You know what I heard? You know what Peter Lavenda told me is that Adolf Hitler was alive at one point and escaped and was living on an island, not in America, not in South America, in Indonesia.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I didn't hear that one. I heard a bunch of Father Crespi stories, but even that's a little bit. I'm not sure.
Argentina a bit. He was Manfred Hisler. I think he changed his name to. It's like I love that Simpson gag when Bart. It's the Australian episode when Bart's calling the rest of the world, and he calls Hitler's car phone.
Das eine Nuisance-phone.
Yeah, nuisance. He's in Argentina. It's like,
ring, whatever he said.
So it's. Apparently the Russians found his body double. I'm not. He's still a meth addicted psychopath, genocidal mother something.
Biden or Obama?
No. He'll Adolf.
yes. All three of them. Okay.
Yeah. It's like when people ask me, "Oh, can you do a quick review of Andrew Bartz's and Bruce McDonald's book, the Galactic Historian, and it's like, yeah, okay, here's my review. Yes.
Here's my in the beginning.
Sounds positive.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with that.
That's basically it, because it's like any question, I'll just go yes. But
Right.
should I read this? Yes. Shouldn't I read it? Yes.
Should I have more than 1 teaspoon of sugar in my coffee?
What's that got to do with a bloody book?
I just want an answer with.
Chapter 4.
You're going to be an easy yes man on that.
Yeah, well, actually, chapter 4 does deal with the Coriolis effect of tea when in different points of the planet. But yeah, that's my because it's just it's mind blowing, and because of free will, it's a whole review based on free will. Should I read this book? Yes. Should I not read this book? Yes. Make up your mind. Yes.
Can you rewind a little bit to the Coriolis effect on liquid north and south? Because I always wondered if that was the case from the time it was in The Simpsons.
Well, yes.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for clearing that up.
This is some kind of like chapter from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I feel.
So does that mean whatever hemisphere you're in, there is a proper way your water should be spinning, and if maybe your water's going the other way, it doesn't go the other way, but if it does, it might be bad for the water?
Yes.
That's actually true.
Yeah. See, that's the wonderful thing about, I don't know if it's the English language, or just our version of reality. Most answers to the questions you ask are in the question.
Well, sometimes you just got to say things out loud, though, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like even people say, "Oh, I have guests on." It's like, why are you asking that? Because you do know this is broadcast live, right? We do have an audience, and not everyone has your experiences.
Going back to the water, though.
Yes, please.
It is important to whatever hemisphere you're on to stir it in the proper direction. Up here is clockwise. Whenever I can, I'm always stirring clockwise because that's how you put your medicine into it. That's how you.
I've always naturally leaned to anti-clockwise, and I even thought it was some kind of.
Because you worship Saturn. Saturnian worship.
No.
The great cube.
I think when you pull the plug, which direction does the water spin? I think in your side of the world it's counterclockwise, right?
It should be, yeah. But it made me think about even the term clockwise seems a little bit biased, doesn't it?
Well, up here it's clockwise.
Well, no, because that's the way a clock works.
Funny.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
unless you want to buy that clock where your numbers are reversed.
Sometimes you're not always talking about clocks.
Hey! Here's a marketing idea, everyone. What we can do in Australia, we can sell Southern Hemisphere clocks, and they change the reverse the numbers, and change the speed.
And they go backwards. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. They go backwards. They still tell the time. It's just you need a mirror on the opposite side of the wall to read it. Like, oh, that's what it means. It still works perfectly way. It's just a different direction.
That's very convoluted.
Which should be appropriate for Australia.
Yeah. Well, the trick is you have to change the numbers. You can't just turn it backwards because we're traveling through time. Yeah. So
damn it, it's o'clock again.
It's like a picture of Rod Stewart. Picture of instead of like 12 o'clock, it's Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
1 o'clock.
E o'clock. Does that? We have to wait 12 hours to get to G o'clock.
3 o'clock is.
Well, you could just replace all the numbers with Happy Times pictures of your favorite Happy Times. Anyway. Or a night on the town on the piss. Like, this is me at 1 o'clock. This is me at 2 o'clock. This is me at 5 o'clock buying a souvlaki at a dodgy kebab van. Love dodgy. Yeah. I love dodgy.
It only works for you.
They're the best.
Just be careful of the old garlic sauce explosion. It's the only problem with it.
Time out of mind. That's basically it.
That's tomorrow's problem.
Don't live by Saturn.
Yeah, or you could have the annoying clock. Where are the numbers between 12 and 6? Oh, that's sleeping. Why would you need to know?
Saturn is the god of this world.
Well, I like the Saturn coffee or the Saturn tea references because that explains the big cube at the top of the planet.
The hexagonal shape, you mean?
Well, now it's just, 3 or 4 ice cubes being wedged together?
No. That's if you look at the natural quartz crystal. It's also hexagonal. It's how energy flows.
Mm. I like how
Fascinating.
when they discover that it's publicly known that shape is there, but if you bring up it's not nature, because nature's never like that.
You talking about the hexagon on the top of Saturn? You are.
Yeah.
aren't you?
Richard Hoagland would say that.
It's all harmonics, isn't it? It's like
It is,
it's
yes.
the.
But there usually
yeah.
isn't.
What's the solid one at the top of Island? Giant's Causeway. How it's just
What's the one
pushed
that looks
itself
like
up in all of there's about five or six of these around the world where the heat and the tone of the rock and iron being pushed up were really harmonic when it happened.
Himalayas.
It's just split up into these. Well, I think that it seems like that massive tree. That massive tree that's a stump that was used in the Aliens UFO movie, Expert Press.
Avatar.
The Devil's Mountain.
Devil's
Devil's Tower. Yeah.
Is that a tree? Is it not a tree? Was it
the
a stump of a tree?
trees? Yeah.
No. There are 2 million years ago. There were these trees that were 4 or 5 miles high. They're just huge, and it's been shared with me, especially when I talk to a tree person. Like last week, I had a tree consciousness on my show. It was Torvis. He was just explaining how these trees were harvested. Every single one was harvested, and that's what our mesas are in the Southwest. All those flat top mountains are tree stumps.
Yeah, you see planes that just look like they've been just sheared off.
And the stuff that's built in stone, I think it's in the southwest of the United States. These they look like stairs if you're 80 feet tall. Now, why would someone who only grows to 6 feet tall make these stairs? Because it's not art. It's just like, what is the point? Because you need ropes or climb up the side, and it's our history seeping through, because they can't hide everything.
Well, no, in Tennessee, they have this cave, and you walk in the cave, and there's these stone chairs that are 10 feet tall, and it was actually a meeting chamber for these giants, and they still dig up these mounds that they have in the South, in the Midwest, these huge mounds that they were trying to figure out who built them. They're digging up these corpses that are 12 feet tall, and they have red hair, and they have sharp teeth, and these are the predecessors to this current administration on this planet.
America is ancient.
Oh yeah,
the whole planet's ancient. So
right.
But,
I know, but you forget that.
Are you familiar with Graham Hancock's theory? I think it's in a couple of his books, The Lost Empire or something like that, where he's trying to connect all the dots where the mounds and everything else, like there's a lost civilization, which is probably anything that happened before the recent ice age, which is 10,500 years or 12,000 years ago.
Have not.
It's fascinating where it's like, mostly it could be, I don't know exactly in the timeline, because
that's not the name.
Yeah, the lost civilization or something. I can't remember exactly.
That's right after the fall of Atlantis.
Yeah, right.
But who knows how many epochs is in between that as well?
Graham Hancock says that this cataclysm, this worldwide flood, happened 10,500 years. I forget exactly, but it basically factors.
And when did they install the moon? Was that about then?
No, the moon was before that.
Yeah, the moon's
And there was actually 2 moons at one point, and then they went down to one moon.
But the point is the timelines correlate perfectly to Plato's story of Atlantis, which fell, according to Plato, 2,500 years before his time, or Solon's time.
Maybe Atlantis just had a lot of cup-shaped architecture when the deluge happened.
No,
no drainage.
Atlantis destroyed itself. And then there was the Great Flood, and then there was the Ice Age.
Trifecta.
So anyway,
No, that was a boot. You know, that was one of the boots. We call it a reboot. That was a boot where they tried to bring in this harmonization of humanity to a singularity concept of benevolence. And unfortunately, during that time, they had a very similar to what was known as the Vril Society. That these women that opened up a portal to the Darker Islands, and
Wow.
and actually that there was recently told that one of these women was Morgana from Camelot.
From
She was
King
one
Arthur.
of the yeah, she was
Morgana
one of the
Le Fay.
women that created this portal, this spell, and Merlin actually tried to shut it down, but was unsuccessful. He actually got sucked into her spell, and then by the time he came out of it, it was too late. And the whole thing went down in flames.
Yeah, I like Spirit Science. They've been around for a while. They do some great animation. They explain a version of history. Now, I'm not saying no one's right, no one's wrong. It could all be the same thing at the same time. But what they refer to as Nazis came from, or the Aryans came from Mars, because there was a vacant energy hole sort of in Atlantis, and the Nazis came in. So like, oh, we'll be here. And then eventually they tried to do the same thing here on Earth that they tried on Mars, and it screwed up again, and it destroyed Atlantis. So because it was Viking, it was factional. It was like there was fighting. It was basically the worst version of a Colombian soap opera. You know how if you want to write a soap opera, something happens, and then for the next 24 minutes you make every mistake possible and make it worse.
Right.
Didn't they just take their cues from Days of Our Lives?
Yeah.
Cain and Abel, the fighting brothers all over again.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Because I think they were
Split
finding
hemisphere of the
Lemuria,
brain.
and then I think Andrews pointed out that you find out that they're both ancestors of each other because of all the timeline manipulation and freaky shit like that. So yeah, when people talk about ancient history is like, well, when someone's so connected to one timeline, it's like, well, that's one. Go ahead, Viking.
Well, during Atlantis, there was the two continents. There was Atlantis and Mu, and Mu was the capital. Mu was Lemuria, and that's where most of the population of Mu was on the right timeline. And they during the cataclysm, they had to go in what we know now as the Gartha, and they went to a few outposts. That there was a few outposts that were like up in Siberia at the time was tropical, and they had a safe home there. But you had the Atlantis was more or less Europe into the desert, stretching down into I believe it was Antarctica. And then you had Mu, which took over most of the west coast of the United States, all the way South America, all the way to the Hawaiian Islands is actually one of the epicenters of Mu. And so the two existed, but and they tried to they basically split apart when the Orions took over, and the whole thing just went downhill.
Yeah, and like Australia was part of that. Like it was like a colony or
it was
penal colony. Yeah, so like, oh yeah, just use it as a jail. Thanks for that. But those wacky reptilians, and also I'd like to point out, not every reptilian is an evil DNA sucker.
Right.
I, for one,
some of
that's
them are
true.
Scientists. Some
Yeah,
of them are religious leaders. Some of them are,
not a
just
climbing
ordinary-
psychopath.
I met
the psychopath.
Uber
Like,
driver.
even with the Stardust Ranch, the audiobook you did, it's like most greys are crap. There are good greys though, but they're actually the ones that are at Stardust Ranch are rogue greys. They won't follow treaties and stuff like that.
I know all about that. I know. I know all about Stardust Ranch.
Yeah, because it's actually in the book where they say you cannot judge humanity in one person. It's the same thing with aliens, where all reptilians are evil. Like, well, have you met them all?
Yeah, this dude just he kills grazed by the score with his ninja sword and stuff.
Yeah,
This guy,
yeah, I know. And I love when
right?
people say, well, why didn't he take photos? Where are the body parts?
He did. I thought he did. I think he did take photos.
Yeah, but this is in a place where his keys disappear for weeks and then float around and hit him in the head. Of course, they're going to take their fallen brothers. It's not. And anyone that goes to the ranch usually has some type of experience, and so
it's a weird place. Like you can't find it on a map. Like people have a tough time finding it and stuff.
I watched Ghost Adventures. They did an episode on it, and it's fascinating. I'm
Really?
12 minutes. Yeah, I'm 3/4 of the way through the audiobook. I've read the book. I've actually done an interview with Bruce and John all about it. And 12 minutes into the episode, and it's like, this is so unbelievable. Even though I know it's existing, but they just put in so many, like, it's a litany of everything that's happened. And 12 minutes in, it's like, no wonder people can't believe this, because it's just so out there. It's not like I met an alien once. I had an emotional spike, and I grabbed one by the neck, and they won't touch me. It's like, if you go to Aliens Anonymous, John Edmonds at the back going, yeah, amateur. I have my wife halfway up a beam of light to a ship, and I have to go get an AK-47 and fire at it. And
the
it's just
stories
one.
are incredible.
Can't do that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of weird stuff. I actually explained to a friend. So what's the book about? Oh, an 8,000-year-old time portal and aliens. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, but I remember when that guy came out with the owner, whatever. He did an interview with Carrie Cassidy, who used to have a show here on Revolution Radio, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she did. I don't know about Carrie, actually. I thought she was always.
Yeah, but she interviewed this guy, and so did Jimmy Church from Fade to Black, and he kind of made his debut on Jimmy Church's show. And I remember tuning in, and it was just an incredible story. Like, it was just, no wonder it's a book. You know, it's just, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's incredible. It's, even if you don't, I don't even care if you believe it or not, read it, you know what I mean, or listen to it, whatever. It's worth it. It's so fascinating. Yeah,
it's just a drop in the bucket as well. It's just,
right?
It just happened. And because there's the Bradshaw Ranch, where is fascinating, where it's where a lot of Hollywood movies, because it activated in 1992, and that's the right word, activated, because nothing beforehand. So it just came online, because you've got Skinwalker, Bradshaw, and Stardust Ranch all on the same, is it parallel?
Ley line, yeah.
Yeah, it's a ley line.
Longitude, latitude.
Yeah, the longitude, the one that goes up and down.
Longitude.
Yeah, that's long.
Latitude.
Yeah. No, latitude. See, I don't know.
Long's up and down, isn't it?
Well, that's
latitude's left to right.
I think opposite, but whatever.
Anyway, people know what the top of a map is and the bottom of the map is.
Up the top bit.
Yeah. So there's three in a row, and obviously it's a ley line. So we could have saved 30 seconds there by just going with Viking from the start. Ley line. Okay, moving on. And so Stardust is right, but Skinwalker it's made into a TV show, and it's fascinating how everything else. But the Bradshaw the Bradshaw Ranch was taken over by the government, and it's like, yeah, we're buying a ranch, and if you don't sell it, we'll kick you off. I'm like, well, that's just
my family name. That's one of my family's names. My grandmother's maiden name is Bradshaw.
Well, this ranch.
She's a famous psychic. Yeah.
No, this ranch was bought in the 40s, I think, by this one guy. He was a stunt guy from Hollywood, and so a lot of westerns from the 50s to the 70s were made out there, because it's as we're talking about all the trees being lopped up, it's just all the mesas and everything else like that. And then eventually, I think the grandson of the original owner, he started doing as a working cattle ranch, and then the government came in the 90s or the 80s, which is a stupid name, and said, we're buying this, and if you don't leave, if you don't sell it, we'll just throw you off. And it's like, oh, I'll better take the money then. Go ahead.
You know that ranch where Charles Manson hung around.
L'Oreal Canyon, Canyon,
No,
where it is.
Laurel Canyon is different, but
Okay.
this was forget the name of it, but it was something ranch, and never mind. I'm sort of hoping someone would know.
No, I'm not a big fan of old Charlie.
I'm not a fan. I'm just thinking of the history,
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying you're a fan. I just know, Charlie Don't Surf is a T-shirt.
There are some fans. There are
Oh yeah, I know.
fans of Charles Manson, which is I find a bit weird.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. Like, Ted Bundy gets love letters. It's like, really?
And his
Well,
own
do you know what he does to women? You strange little worm.
It's called Span Ranch, SPAHN.
Thank you. Thank you. Spawn Ranch. Yes, that's it.
I think it's in Once Upon Hollywood, the latest Tarantino film.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Yeah.
Oh, well, I think you'll like it. He changes history, but that's the point of the movie. Right. And DiCaprio works with Brad Pitt. There's so many memes coming out of it. And it's if you like other Tarantino films, and it's got Charlie Manson in it, it's worth seeing once and see what you go from. It's long, so book a day.
I hear Bruce Lee is in it. That's what I heard.
I think so. I saw a downloaded crappy white version, so I think I can download. I can sort of rent a version where it will be clear picture.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Sharon. Yeah, they live instead of the horrible thing. So
cool.
Yeah, it's sort of like Inglourious Bastards, where they change. Yeah, they actually kill Hitler. Yeah.
I want a place on Nantucket. Well, you get your place in Nantucket. Let me just carve something in your forehead first.
Right? Yeah, that's yeah. So that's the fun times we live in, and as people are waking up, and it's not apathy. Viking, what's a better way of saying it? Where we're disengaging from the global narrative. It's not apathy. It's I think we're I'm getting myself and Mr. Rowe. We're tired of playing the game. Just seems terrible.
Yeah, there's no confidence in all of the above.
Yeah, and the spell doesn't work anymore. It's like, okay, fine, do your thing, leave me alone. It's ridiculous.
They killed the game in the last one like a little child trying to get its toy back.
Yeah, the election night. I think since the election night where there was tension on a certain... Basically, in comedy, when you write a joke, it's build a tension and release. Strangely enough, that's most things in life. Now, what happened is with the election, there was the build of tension... And then Trump says we're going to the courts, and it was just such a letdown where it was just a slow. There was no bang, no pop, no nothing. See, it was like even that. His Brandon sneeze was more exciting than
something.
It was something. It's like, look, there was an explosion of energy. Mind you, comedically, I did find it funny that all these Antifa knobs, paid provocateurs, are wandering the streets at 2 a.m. going, well, what do I do now?
Yeah,
because.
Firecracker waiting to happen as well.
Yeah, it's like, all right, all these pallets of bricks turn up on the side of the street, just like you're in a Nintendo game.
But again, wouldn't have been there if they weren't paid.
Of course not. But the thing is, there wasn't a clear winner. Where it in a way, it was to diffuse the riots. Where Trump won. Oh, well, riot. Biden won. Oh, the Trumps. We don't know yet, and it will take 2 months or more to get to it. And it was like, well, then, all right.
I'll go home then.
Yeah, we didn't get the text. And I wonder if we get paid.
This whole thing now about restricting people's movements around the world, being able to see friends and family overseas, is every single day that it goes on, it just puts the idea of any kind of government that exists at the moment being rescued in the bin more and more. This is just like, the government's finally got that thing that they were aiming for, totalitarianism, and being able to be at a point where they're trying to inject people with whatever they can.
Yeah, they're using this. They're basically, in a way, now I can't prove it, but in a way, it seems like they're still working on ideas and information from February 2020, where it's shown that even through the Fauci emails that the masks do not work against COVID because of the size of COVID.
Every
It's
bit
not-
of the data was bad from the very beginning.
Can we plug our shows?
Yes. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. Oh, I got excited there. Viking, where can people, as we're screaming towards the end of the show,
So
where
we got
can people find
We
you?
got the Galactic Interstellar Councils on Rev Radio Studio A at 11 Pacific Standard Time, and people that are not able to hear my show can go to YouTube, and this Christopher Jacob, who is one of our council members, his subscription channel on YouTube has all of our shows archived.
Yes.
Right.
Brandon, where can people find you if you want them
Nowhere.
to find you? All right, fair enough. All
Nowhere
right.
at all.
We're wheeling him back into the warehouse here at Planet Collingwood, and when we're ready, we'll defrost him and bring him out
You
again.
can find me right here on Planet
There you
Collingwood
go.
sometime.
Same with the wonderful Cortek.
I'd also like to go into cryogenic suspension next to Disney and Brandon. We could just sit there until next week. Roll us out when something happens.
Well, that's
Roll us out early if something happens as well.
Of course, yes. We all
stuck
do that.
in there if nothing happens.
Planet Collingwood will
Thank
be
you,
back in
Marty.
6 days. Thank you very much, sirs, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. We'll be back in 6 days and 22 hours for more fun and relaxation. YouTube, share, like, subscribe, all that. I'm on many things. I'm tired. I'm going to go lie down. See you all soon.